I want to give a quick shout out to my patrons. Thank you so much for your support. Hey y'all, it's Kay from the Lost Apothecary, and welcome back to my channel, and welcome back to another weekly reading vlog. This is for the weeks of April 10th to the 22nd. Welcome. I want to start off with something a little bit different than I've been doing in the last couple, and say hello to subscribers that we've gotten in the past 2 weeks. This is partly because I kind of forgot to do it in the last one, and partly because I want to try a new format. Trying to figure out the formats that work right for these videos. So they're always changing, but let me know in the comments below if there's something that you see in these videos that you like that I should keep at the location that they're at. Just let me know so I know that they're working. So hello and welcome to our new subscribers. We've got Jen, K. Webb Harrison, Stephanie W., Drew Blackwell, and the Garden Gnome. Welcome, welcome, welcome everyone, and thank you so much for subscribing. It really means the world to me because without you, I'd just be sitting here talking to myself. So thank you for subscribing. Now, to start this reading vlog off, I've got one update for you all, and that is I finished I finished Conspirata this weekend, also known as Lustrum. It's got 2 different titles depending on which edition you have. This is book 2 in the Cicero trilogy by Robert Harris. I really enjoyed this one. I think I gave it a 4.5 out of 5 stars, but I thought that he did such a great job with this. The beginning and the end were absolutely spectacular, gave me all the emotions that I should feel. The middle kind of drug a little for me, but the way that Robert Harris writes his villains, you can't help but hate these characters. No matter who it is, because at different times in the books, there's different villains. No matter who it is, you can't help but hate them. And to be able to write like that and make us care about characters that lived back in ancient Rome is something that is very unique to historical fiction and just very well done. So well done to Robert Harris. This week I will be reading the Shadow Rising, book 4 in the Wheel of Time series. We promised you a great main event, an unauthorized WWE history by Bill Handstock. This is part of my Books My Boyfriend Gave Me series, and I'm getting really excited to do this review because I've got a couple ideas that I want to pull into this video. I'm hoping maybe today or tomorrow to finish The Two-Faced Queen by Nick Martell. This book is getting so good, y'all. Leslie was right. This book is even better than the first book, The Kingdom of Liars, which y'all know I absolutely loved. I am enjoying this so much. It's so good. Last night I had a huge bout of insomnia. I couldn't get to sleep, so I just sat up listening to the audiobook of this, and it's so good. I'm also working on A Touch of Light by Thiago Abdallah and a beta read for JCM Byrne. So those are my reads this week, and I'll check in with y'all again very soon. Hey y'all, checking in again now. I've got some book mail here from my friend Stacy out in Finland. Stacy and her family, birthday book mail, and then I'll have a check-in for you guys. So let's do the book mail first because that's what everyone wants to see. I have no idea what these are. So let's see. New Spring, which I believe is the Wheel of Time novella that we're going to read at the end of our read-along. Yes. So this one I do not have yet. Thank you, Stacy. I am really enjoying. This is the novella in Wheel of Time. If you've read The Wheel of Time before, people say this one should go in the front. If you haven't read The Wheel of Time before, like I haven't, then this should go at the end because I guess there's spoilers in it. It's supposed to be a prequel novella. I don't know. I just go along with what I'm told. I am really enjoying this read along though. Some books I like more than others, but I am enjoying it generally a lot. Sorry, it's been a long day at work, a long week, so I might not seem as excited as I usually do, but I am very excited. Thank you, Stacy. And book number 2 is, ooh, hardcover. Ooh, Magic Steeped in Poison. I love that cover. Look at all those colors on that cover. And it wraps around to the back. I have not heard of this book before, but I love the cover. So for Ning, the only thing worse than losing her mother is knowing that it's her own fault. She was the one who unknowingly brewed the poison tea that killed her mother, the poison tea that now threatens to also take her sister Shu. I won't read any further because there's probably spoilers because that's a long description. I'm really excited for this. I haven't heard of this yet. Ooh, it even has like little illustrations at the top of each chapter. I'm excited. Thank you, Stacy. This sounds really right up my alley. And that is a beautiful, beautiful cover. I just love it. I love covers that have bright colors on it. No matter what color it is, if it's a bright color, I'm gonna love it. So thank you, Stacy. Thank you so much. So my check-in for today is that this weekend I finished the Two-Faced Queen. I think it was actually Monday I finished the Two-Faced Queen. Wow, this is chaotic. By Nick Martell, book 2 in the Mercenary Kings series. Y'all, this book was so good. I enjoyed this book so much. The characters are fantastic. The storyline is fantastic. The pacing is great. There were so many twists and turns in this book that every time you thought, okay, this has to be the end, but there's still like so much left in the book. I thought it was the end so many times, and then I had to double check and make sure that like we didn't have like 100 pages of extra stuff at the end. But it was so good. I really enjoyed it, and I might just read the next book in this series. I think it's the final book in the series. I think it's just a trilogy. Something like The Uncharted Sky, I think, is maybe the title. Maybe that's a different book title. I can't remember. I might add that into my May TBR. We'll see how April winds up. So I finished that. Once I finished that, I went and started my patron pick of the month for April, which is The Lost Apothecary by Sarah Penner. I have only just started that last night, so I'm only like 1 chapter in, but it has a really great map at the beginning. And you know, chapter 1 is off to a good start so far, so I am hopeful that I will like this. I've heard mixed reviews about this one, but mixed reviews or even bad reviews don't tend to deter me away from books, because a lot of times I tend to like books that other people don't like as much. So I'm excited to see where I fall on this book. But that's it for now, and I will check in again soon. Hey y'all, checking in this week. I've got some big updates for you. But first, before we get to my reading updates, I have some book mail to show off from my best friend Leslie at The Nerdy Narrative. She sent me Side Jobs by Jim Butcher for my birthday coming up at the end of this month. This is one of the collections of short stories in the Dresden Files. I've started this. I've read the first short story in this collection. I'm loving everything about Dresden Files so far, and hopefully tonight I'll be starting the first book in the main series, Stormfront. So I'm hoping to start that tonight, but I got this from Leslie at The Nerdy Narrative, and I can't wait to add this to my collection because I'm loving Dresden so far. So now for our updates. I've finished 3 books since I last checked in. First is A Touch of Light by Tiago Abdallah. This one I gave 3.5 out of 5 stars. I really wanted to love this, and even though it seems like it's not a great rating, 3.5 out of 5 stars is still a really good rating. I enjoyed the different threads of this plot tremendously, but they didn't come together soon enough, well enough, efficient enough for me. I wanted them together a little bit better. I had a hard time keeping track of them all. And I learned about halfway through this book that This is one of those books that is actually not great for my reading style. So normally, as you know, I have several books going at once, and I usually, when I'm reading, I read one chapter at a time. I'll read a chapter in a book, and then I will set that down and read another chapter in a book, set that down, and so on and so on, and then circle back to the book that I started with. This book, A Touch of Light, is not a great book for that kind of reading style. This is one of those books that demands a lot of attention and is really great if you can sit down for a very big chunk of time and just read this and nothing else. And I have a hard time doing that. So that's part of the reason why I had a hard time with this book. But I did really enjoy it, and I can't wait to talk to Tiago about this at the end of this month on the 30th for Self-Pub Sunday. What else? Yesterday I finished We Promised You a Great Main Event, an unauthorized history of the WWE. I really enjoyed this book. I gave it 5 out of 5 stars. I knew I was gonna like it, but I didn't know I was gonna love it, and I absolutely did. I'm gonna have a really fun review for this book coming soon, so stay tuned for that. A lot of fun in that review, a lot of hijinks, a lot of talking about wrestling and my favorite memories of wrestling, and stuff that I learned about in this book. I learned so much in this book. Can't wait. And then this morning I finished The Lost Apothecary by Sarah Penner. This was my patron pick for April. This one I also gave 3.5 out of 5 stars. I was really interested in our thread that was going through history about the apothecary and the apothecary owner. Not quite as interested in our present day thread. Could have done without that. I want an entire book, an entire series about the apothecary owner and her story and her family's history with being an apothecary and all that surrounds that. I just want that in the book. So I gave it 3.5 out of 5 stars. But that book has been on my TBR for a long time, so I'm glad I got to it. When I finished A Touch of Light, I started Thud by Terry Pratchett. This is the second to the last book in the City Watch series. I'm hoping to maybe, I sent her a message today, have Derry on my channel for a fun Discworld City Watch chat once I finish with the City Watch, which will be hopefully in May when I finish Snuff. Tonight, like I said, I hope to start Stormfront by Jim Butcher, the first main book in the Dresden Files series. And that's it for now, so I will talk to you again very soon. Bye. Hey y'all, checking in one last time for this week. So this weekend, I'm going to be working on finishing up Thud by Terry Pratchett. I'll be making hopefully good progress on The Shadow Rising. And also, I've just started a couple days ago, Stormfront by Jim Butcher. So those are the books that I'm going to be working on this weekend. Once I finish up Stormfront, which hopefully will be in the next day or two because my library loan for the audiobook is due, then I'll be moving into Storm of Swords by George R.R. Martin. That's book 3 in the Song of Ice and Fire series. So after I finish Thud, I'll be moving into Buzzard's Bowl, the arc for book 2. This is the book that follows the Trials of Ashmount, the something Sedan series. I forget the series name, but this is by John Palladino. I absolutely loved book 1. It made me a fan of Grimdark, and I can't wait to see where John takes this story. Once I finish The Shadow Rising, then I will hopefully move into Middlemarch, finally, by George Eliot. And that will round up my April TBR. Definitely take me into May. Hoping not too many books carry over into May so I can get straight started on my May the Force Read With You Readathon TBR and count all of the books I'm reading in May for May. There will be 1 or 2 carryovers, but hopefully not too many more than that. Maybe the 3 books that I'll be starting next week. Anyways, now I'm rambling, so I'm gonna wrap it up here. So that is it for now. Let me know in the comments below, what was your favorite reading moment from the past 2 weeks? What are you looking forward to reading the most in the next 2 weeks? As always, my Patreon and my Discord information will be in the description below. keep reading, and I love you all to the moon and back. Bye.